You already know how this story ends. The son comes home. The father runs. There is a feast. There is a ring and a robe and a fatted calf. The older brother stands outside angry. The father goes to him too. It is a beautiful story, and you have heard it so many times that you may have stopped hearing it. But there is a detail at the beginning of this parable that most people absorb without registering what it means. And when you see it, the whole story changes. The younger son says, "Give me the share of property that is coming to me." In the ancient Near Eastern world, this is not just a rude request. It is a statement. To demand your inheritance while your father is still living is to say publicly, in front of the community, "I wish you were dead." The inheritance does not come to you until the father dies. To ask for it now is to treat the father as if he already is. The community would have known this. The servants would have known this. The older brother would have known this. Everyone listening to Jesus tell this parable would have known exactly what the son had said. And the father gives it to him. He does not argue. He does not correct. He does not threaten to disown the boy. He divides his livelihood. The word is bios, life, and gives the younger son his half. The father absorbs the humiliation, takes the wound, and lets him go. This is the detail that changes everything. The father did not have to let him go. In the culture of the time, a father had authority to refuse, to discipline, to hold the estate intact, to say, "You will receive this when I am dead," which I am not. The son had no legal claim to anything while the father lived. The father's compliance is not weakness, it is a choice. He could have held the boy. He chose to open his hand. The son goes. The famine comes. He takes a job feeding pigs. To a Jewish audience, the most degraded position imaginable. He is alone, hungry, tending animals considered unclean, far from home. And then the text gives us one of the most important phrases in the entire Gospel of Luke. He came to himself. He came to himself. Not to God, not to remorse, not to theological clarity. He came to himself. He remembered who he was before he left. He remembered that even his father's servants had bread enough and to spare. And he made a calculation. "I will arise and go to my father and say, 'I am no longer worthy to be called your son. Treat me as one of your hired servants.' This is not repentance yet. This is survival arithmetic. He is going home because he is hungry and he knows his father is not a cruel man. That is the full extent of his motivation at this point. And while he was still a great way off, his father saw him." This phrase in Greek implies the father had been watching, not that he happened to glance up at the right moment. The word suggests a continuous action. He was watching the road, waiting, looking. He saw the son while the son was still far away because the father had never stopped looking in the direction the son had left. He ran. In the culture of the ancient Near East, a man of means did not run. Running required lifting your robe, exposing your legs, the posture of a servant, not a patriarch. To run was to lower yourself publicly. And the father runs. He absorbs the shame of the posture so that the son does not have to walk the full length of the road with people watching. He falls on his neck. He kisses him. The son begins his speech. "Father, I have sinned against heaven and before you. I am no longer worthy to be called your son." The father interrupts. He does not let the son finish. He calls for the robe, the ring, the sandals. The robe marks him as a son, not a servant. The ring is a signet ring. It gives the son authority to do business in the father's name. The sandals mark him as a free man, not a slave. Before the son can finish saying, "Make me a servant," the father has already reinstated him as a son. There is a character in this story who is often treated as a subplot. The older son, who has been there the whole time, who has done everything right, who comes home from the field to find a party he was not invited to and refuses to go in. His complaint is, "I have served you, I have never disobeyed, and you never gave me a young goat for a feast with my friends." The father's answer is devastating in its gentleness. "Son, you are always with me, and all that is mine is yours. You could have had a feast any time you asked." The older son was living in his father's house like a servant because he was keeping accounts, cataloguing his obedience, measuring his worthiness, calculating what he was owed. And in doing so, he had missed the relationship entirely. He was present but not home. Both sons misunderstood the father. The younger thought his sin had disqualified him from sonship. The older thought his obedience had earned him a position. Neither one understood that the father was not keeping score. The younger son came home expecting a servant's wages and received a banquet. The older son lived in the house expecting payment and never realized he could have been feasting all along. The story does not tell us how it ends for the older brother. That is the open question Jesus left hanging in the air. He was telling it to Pharisees and scribes who were standing at the edge of the story wondering if they were invited in. So are you.